That was
Good stuff.
Good job, guys. That was smooth. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of StorrsNation. I'm your host, Hezekiah Johnson, and with me today, we have UCTV legend Kyle Berry.
What's good?
And the BOAT, Bryan Lambert. Welcome to the show, guys.
What's going on, Hez? Thanks for having us.
How you feeling?
My lungs are currently collapsing. David has forgotten how to pitch. I'm doing terrible.
All right, we're going to start the show off with a very special topic, one that carries a lot of history, Boston versus New York. In terms of baseball, both teams are hot right now. The Red Sox and the Yankees meet for the fourth time in the postseason. With the series being tied 1-1 and Game 3 happening as we speak, Kyle, starting with you, what do you think it'll come down to?
Yeah, I think we've known all year it's going to come down to pitching. Sale was dominant in his start, 5 1/3, 8 strikeouts. Maybe we'll see him later in this series. Hopefully not in relief. Hopefully he can get on the mound, get another start in if they need it. Price pitched like the doubters said he would. Is he going to make any good playoff starts? Who knows at this point? Eovaldi's making his first playoff start right now. Who knows? Hopefully that can go well, but with no experience in Yankee Stadium, that's going to be a tough one.
It's going to be tough.
Eduardo Rodriguez has a 27 playoff ERA.
Woo!
27. Mookie, JD, and this offense have had to bail out these pitchers, especially this bullpen, all season, and they're going to need to do it again if they expect to win this series or any series beyond this one.
Brian, what do you think?
I think Kyle hit the nail on the head here. It's going to come down to how well they manage their arms, both their starting pitchers and on the mound. Eovaldi, he got moved up to Game 3 because Porcello pitched in the first 2 games to give him the Game 4 start. Eovaldi's got to give him good innings tonight. You can't go back to that bullpen early. And with Porcello on the mound, his arm's got to be fresh. His arm's got to be fresh because if the Sox are down 2-1 going into Game 4, you cannot have your ace on the bench in there. If they're down 2-1 going into Game 4, you have to have Sale make an appearance at some point in that game. Meaning, who pitches Game 5? If you're down, you need Sale in Game 4, but you also need Sale in Game 5. So what do you do here?
Right.
They need quality starts, and they need this bullpen to not implode again.
And speaking of the Yankees, how about their offensive power with Aaron Judge and Gary Sanchez? How are you guys going to stop that?
Pray. I've been going to church a lot. I think you have to pray. But I don't know. They're both big home run guys. They're both big swings. They both swing for the fences a lot. You got to try and keep them off speed. You got to try and mix it in the fastball. You got to try and rattle them. It's tough. They're both 2 of the great power hitters in the game, and especially at Yankee Stadium. It's really hard to keep that ball in that stadium.
Yeah, I think you got it. They're gonna have to try and strike these guys out. Some of these guys are either like home run or strikeout hitters, the way that their stats have been looking this year. So you got to strike them out. Don't let them get on the base paths, especially late. They've got some guys that are quick that can run. Don't let them get it out of the park in that little Yankee Stadium. Don't let them get on base late. Just strike them out, get them to the bench as much as you can.
Joe Kelly should probably be huge in these next 2 games in New York. Yep. Analytically, he is one of the best through 9 innings of diminishing home runs. Joe Kelly, he needs to be huge in these next 2 games.
Joe Kelly, Fight Club, baby. Let's do it.
He also needs to knock some skulls around.
Speaking of rivalries, there are some that always end in a grudge match. There's the Patriots versus Giants, Joe Frazier versus Muhammad Ali, even the Celtics and Lakers, reaching back from Larry Bird and Magic. Mm-hmm. Kyle, starting with you again. Can you please list for me your top 3 rivalries in sports?
Sure. I try to change it up a little bit. I think Brian's got some good ones coming up. I grew up watching Red Sox-Yankees, Celtics-Lakers. Those are classic. Does it get better than 0-4 for the Red Sox-Yankees? I don't think so. Mm-hmm. And Celtics-Lakers, that's some history all the way back. And now we got this young team versus LeBron on the Lakers with his young squad. I think we're ready to see this rivalry grow for a couple more years. Hopefully we can get a lot out of that one. Hopefully we get some matchups in the finals, some meaningful games that we probably haven't seen a lot in recent years with one team being good when the other wasn't. The next one that I've got, Ohio, Michigan. The extent that these schools and these fans go to, Ohio crossing out any M on their campus, I love that. When that happens, that's one of the favorite things to see all the pictures all around their campus. Army, Navy, the history that goes behind that. that's tough to beat. And the last one that I've got, OBJ versus the kicking net, one of the best rivalries in sports. That's heated. You could see his emotion. The kicking net hits back. Man, that's tough to beat. That's tough to beat.
You going with that?
I'm going with that as
like
number
list.
5.
Like
Thank
list.
you.
Brian, what about you? Let me hear your list.
I'm a big fan of divisional rivalries, and I'm a big fan of conference rivalries because you get the bad blood. They're constantly playing each other. If it's the NBA, you're playing each other at least like once or twice a month. Same thing with the NHL. That's why I think my top 5 definitely be Red Sox-Yankees for the divisional aspect. Also, 2 of the richest teams in baseball. They're always going to be fielding good teams for the most part. Sometimes the Red Sox stink. It sucks. Bruins-Canadiens as well, same thing, divisional team, always a lot of history. Packers-Bears, always a team that's, once again, has a lot of history. Steelers-Ravens, not a rivalry that's really deep-rooted historically, but they've just been really good for the last like 15 years or so, and there's always so much blood. There's always just so much blood on the field. You see even coaches getting involved and fracases on the end of the games and stuff like that. And lastly, I think Duke UNC is going to round out my top
really
5.
Good. Yeah, that's really
Duke
good.
UNC,
I like that.
two schools that are really close geographically. I think Duke UNC probably rounds out my top 5.
And what do you guys think makes rivalries so good? I know it's very intense. It's very it really hits. What do you guys think?
I think it's just like you watch the interviews with these guys, like they hate each other. Like it's not like you got the NBA. You got the NBA right now. A lot of guys are friends with each other. They grew up playing with each other. But like you watch these documentaries, especially the old school rivalries, these guys did not like each other. Like they were not hanging out outside the court. Like it was genuine dislike, hate for each other. Like that was bad. Like you put that jersey on and it's over.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's who you are.
See, that's what I love. That's exactly what I love.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think all the best rivalries, they have a factor of bad blood into it. Even if teams aren't like fighting after games and stuff like that, like the Celtics and Pistons of the late 80s, even if you're not clotheslining Kurt Rambis, you still have to have that battle for bragging rights. You know what I mean?
Facts.
You still have to, like we saw it from Aaron Judge, you still have to twist the arm of your opponent just a little bit more, whether it's playing New York as you're walking out of the stadium or something like that. There just has to be definitely, like, these players, they're already making millions of dollars. A great rivalry pushes them just to the next level.
Yep. And I think they're like the team investment for them too. Like they put on that, like it's the team. Like it is bigger than themselves. It's bigger than themselves. It's the history. I think that's what drives a great rivalry.
We're going to cut to a quick commercial break, but real quick, I think I know your answers by your jerseys, but who do you guys have winning the Red Sox versus Yankees series?
I'm going to go with the Red Sox. I've always said from the beginning, I said Red Sox in 5. I thought they were going to split the first 2 in Boston and in New York. And then you got to go, if they have Chris Sale in Game 5, you cannot pick against Chris Sale. He's the best pitcher in baseball right now, in one of the best home fields in baseball. I like my chances with Chris Sale on the mound in Game 5.
Yep. Yeah, I got to go with the Sox. A little biased, but you know what? After they swept the Yankees this season, this team has proven they can beat them. I think the bats make up for the lack of pitching, and hopefully they can get, if they have to go to Sale, but I think they can get some pitching to lock down. The bats make up for it. I think they take this series.
That's all we have for this week, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure you follow UCTV on Twitter and check out our content on YouTube at the UCTV channel 14. I'm your host, Hezekiah Johnson, signing off. Peace.